Hey, everyone. It's Vivian Cherie here back with Entrepreneur City. I want to welcome you to the only podcast that's all about empowering entrepreneurship with business education. Well, guys, grab pen and paper because today we're going to be talking about the DNA of the buyer's journey, how customers buy and why they don't. Part 2. Guys, I'm so excited that you're here because this is a 3-part series. If you have not saw part 1, you definitely want to go ahead and check the description box after this particular training and check that out. Or you can always go there now and then come back and get this one. But guys, this training is so important because you want to understand the philosophy behind why customers buy and why they don't. Okay, and today we're going to break it down because there is something called the buyer's journey. I didn't learn about the buyer's journey until later on in my entrepreneurship career, about the buyer's journey. And this buyer's journey is so powerful when you understand it. It is a 3-step process that every buyer goes through, and you don't necessarily hit every single piece of the journey every single time, but at least one time for everything that you have bought, you go through every single piece of the process. And when I discovered this, it's powerful because it will show you how to increase sales, how to build a relationship with your customers, how to create a raving fan base like Apple products. Okay, and you can do this way before you get products or services, but it's definitely powerful if you already have your business up and running. So grab pen and paper, get rid of all the distractions, and get prepared to take notes because I'm serious, guys. This one right here is a keeper. Okay. Now, first off, if you're new to this podcast, again, we're all about empowering the entrepreneurs of small businesses. We literally take billion-dollar brands and hack them down so that you can use the same tactics and strategies in your business, okay, in a very easy way. So that's why I'm definitely excited about sharing this information with you. Guys, again, as I was saying earlier, I've been in the entrepreneur space for over 7 years, but I started off working for Fortune 500 companies. Okay, and at these companies is where I discovered these principles like the buyer's journey that I'm sharing with you today. But there are several core principles that every successful business follows. And here's the cool part about it, guys. The principles, they never change. So regardless if it's 1985 or 2025, these principles, they never change. And it's going to serve you well if you learn them, understand them, and implement them in your business. And that's what I'm doing today to help you do that in a very easy and effective way. All right. So my promise here to you is this. You hear so much online, on the internet, so much information, almost like an information overload. However, everything that we discuss here at Entrepreneur City and anything else or podcast that we are tied to, I want you to understand that we use the principle that success leaves clues, which truly means that every practice, tactic, strategy that we talk about here, you can literally go research your favorite brand, whether it be Amazon, Apple, Rolex, BMW, Fashion Nova, Stitch Fix. It could be anything, Fancy Feast. It could be animal food, Gerber's baby food. It doesn't matter. Our guarantee to you is you can literally go research these brands. You can just go to their website and you will see every tactic and strategy live and well running in their business. This is how we know it works, but it will only work if you work it. And I always like to tell my listeners, please understand that wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom. In all thy getting, get understanding. As I said, guys, there's a lot of information out here. And I want you to become aware of what the truth is. And when you do that, you start to get wisdom. But not only that, you start to understand how to use these things. Because what's the use of having all of this wisdom? Like some people say knowledge is power. But what's the use of having knowledge and you're not using it? Okay. And that's what we are shooting for and aiming for you to be able to use everything that we give you in your business so it can help you go to the next level. Now, before we get into this buyer's journey, I want you to understand that Rule number 1 in goal attainment of any time is to begin with the end in mind. So today, since we're talking about the buyer's journey, okay, this is all about how and why customers buy and why they don't, right? So what you want to do to get the most effective results from these trainings are to think about what goal is it that you have. Okay, do you want to increase sales? Do you want to increase customers? Maybe 10 more customers per month, 5 more customers per week. Maybe you have a dollar amount, which would also still equate to a particular amount of customers that you may have. But I want you to always begin with the end in mind. And the reason why this is so effective is because when you understand what you want, the path to get there becomes more clear. Okay. So when you get all these different tactics and strategies, if it's not just from here, but wherever you're getting your information from, when you understand where you want to end up, when you understand what you want, then you'll understand that every tactic and strategy is not necessarily for you, but you'll be able to pick and choose which methods are best for your desired result. So let's get into it. First off, as I was talking about beginning with the end in mind, when we're thinking about the buyer's journey, right? When we're thinking about, let's just say the word buyers, I want you to understand this one thing. No matter what services or business that you are in, buyers or customers or prospects come to you for the solutions that you provide. It's simple as that. People come to you, even if they're coming to you for advice, they come to you for the solutions you provide. Do you sell socks? They're coming to you for the solutions you provide. So a big piece of this buyer's journey is for you to understand what solutions do you provide. Okay, and you have to get it down to a scientific level because buying is an emotional sport. If I can call it a sport, it's an emotional thing. People buy because of an emotion that makes them happier. It makes them sad. It makes them feel more powerful, more connected, more loved. Okay, there's actually 6 needs that we all need as humans. And if you understand those 6 needs, you can sell any product you want over and over and over again, especially if you can couple it and understand it for this buyer's journey. So again, what solutions do you provide? So for an example, let me just give you a quick example here. So for an example, let's say you had a restaurant, okay? You had all type of different things on your menu. So not only do you provide, on a basic level, you provide something for people that's hungry, right? Of course you do. It's food. But at the same time, you could also look at it and say, you know what? I provide time-saving, family, crowd-pleasing solutions to bring families together, okay, at the dinner table, right? It's all about you understanding the feeling and the emotional piece to the puzzle of the solution that you provide to the client. So here's another one. Think about it if you had a menu that was a dietary menu, right? So you could say, I provide solutions for people wanting to live a healthy lifestyle, but don't have time to cook. Okay, this is the solution that you provide. Time-saving healthy recipes, time-saving healthy cuisine. So it's not that I'm just providing food. I'm providing a lunch special. Everybody on the block can provide a lunch special, but you have to think about it from the customer standpoint. And this is where the buyer's journey comes into place. So part 1, we talked about the awareness of the problem. Okay. We talked about, that you have a problem, whether it be you're hungry, you need a vacation home, you need a new car, you need a new purse, shoes, you're trying to buy tickets to a sports game. Here it is, even with us dealing with COVID-19, some of you might say, hey, I need a mask. That is still aware that you have a problem. Okay. Now, some of you might, and here's the deal. Now, you understand that you provide solutions, right? But here is the second part to understanding what your solution is. You now must conquer the idea of knowing that Everybody will not want your product. No matter how good you are, no matter how professional you are, no matter how good the presentation is. This is something that I truly learned, and I got over it I got over it a long time ago. No matter how good you are, you might have organic products. It's just like doing videos. A lot of people don't want to do it because they know people will always criticize you. But guess what, guys? People are going to do that anyway. Oh, their grammar isn't good. Oh, they misspelled this. Oh, they did that. But you know what, guys? One day I was at a Barnes and Nobles and I grabbed off the shelf one of my favorite New York Times best authors. And with Barnes and Nobles, you can kind of look through the book while you're there. So as I went to start looking through the book, did you know, guys, I realized that there were several misprints, misspelled words in the book. But guess what? It was still a New York Times bestseller. So I want you to understand, guys, don't get caught up in trying to please everybody and thinking that mistakes will be something that will hold you back. Because when you can tap into who exactly your target market is, coming from the standpoint of the problem that you solve, you don't have to, you will be able to connect more with the people that will actually find your products and services more valuable. See, we're living in a very chaotic and busy time right now. With that being said, you don't have time to focus on everybody because everybody don't want what you have to sell. So you want to narrow it down and start to focus on the people who are more than likely going to want to shop with you or want your solution or even be interested at some point in time. So we take a look at the target audience. Okay, this is why this is so important. You'll hear me talk about this a lot. Why? Because there is no need of wasting any more time. Let me tell you a quick story really quickly about how I found out about this as well, as far as wasting your time with people that don't want your products or being in the wrong area with the wrong products. So when I started off, I was selling surveillance equipment, hidden cameras, surveillance systems, all type of IP cameras. I was always a James Bond fanatic. So when I first started off, I was selling cameras and things like that, surveillance systems. So guys, the cameras that I had were so consumer friendly, but cost effective, which was really cool. I was so proud of that fact because it would give you a sense of security, right? So here I am, young lady, passionate about her business. I know my product could help everybody. Well, who doesn't want to feel secure, right? So guys, I headed off to crime infested areas of almost every city that I started off marketing in. Guys, do you know those people? They would call me, but they would try to haggle cheap prices. They weren't interested. But when I took my products to the suburbs, and I'm so serious, guys, when I took my products to the suburbs, to the more affluential sides of town, guys, I was selling out. They were buying everything. I was speaking along with selling the product. Guys, I was getting speaking engagements right and left. Okay? Because I realized that in the affluential neighborhoods, in the suburban neighborhoods, they saw the value in the product. See, the other people, they saw that crime and all that stuff was just a regular way of life. They didn't feel that it was worth it. But the other side, they said, you know what? We work too hard for our stuff. We work all day long. Some of us work at night. Some of us we're going on vacations. Of course I want what you got. I'm at least interested in hearing about it. This same thing applies to you. Who are the people that will be more than likely looking for your products and services? Who will value them more? See, when you can come up with this ideal client profile, some of you get clients, but only when you do first time offers or you do some type of discount or special. But when you really want people to understand the value of your product and you want a client base that will buy your products regardless of the cost, you'll come up with your ideal client profile. And you can do it by asking yourself two questions. Number one, who can truly afford my products right now, whether it be a certain occupation, hobby, age, income, location, gender, interest, values. But you also want to ask yourself, who is actually buying my products right now? Okay, so if you want to ramp up your customers, go check out someone that has a business similar to yours and that is more successful than yours, and see the type of people that they're helping out. Okay, whether it be the certain location you're in, because maybe you're in a bad location. Okay, maybe you're shooting out to the wrong gender. Okay, maybe it's the age group. You never know. But a great way to understand, and if you really want to rev up customers and get customers that are with you uh, without the cost being an issue, ask yourself, who can truly afford my products and who are buying my products right now? Now, after you have come up with your ideal client profile, things really start to come a little bit clear with this buyer's journey. Okay. So the buyer's journey, as I told you earlier, it's 3 pieces to the puzzle. Awareness, when you're aware that you have a problem or some symptoms. Consideration is what we're talking about today. What are you considering? Well, the consideration stage, it has given a definition and a name to the situation, and is committed to researching available approaches and methods to solve it. See, the awareness stage is where you know you got a problem. Sometimes you know what the problem is, but sometimes you just know you have symptoms. Okay, but consideration stage, you now know what problem you have. Okay, I don't have a travel agent. I'm tired of going to 5 different places to secure a plane ticket, a rental car, and this. So you say, you know what, I'm going to get me a travel agent. So now you're at the consideration stage to figure out who exactly you're going to use. So consideration means that something that is meant to be kept in mind when making a decision, evaluating the facts. Now, this was from dictionary.com. So that means you're going to be evaluating facts so that you can finally make the decision. So today we're going to talk about things that customers consider when they're ready to buy, when they're thinking about buying your product versus someone else's. First off, they're going to start searching for the products. Okay, this is very important. I want you to understand that everything begins with a search. After the customer understands they have a problem, symptoms, they're going to start with the search. Now, this is important because if you're not able, can we find you online? Can we find you offline? And the search is so pertinent because I want you to understand that even though today we're using Google search, Safari, and things like that, but the same rules apply back in the 90s when we were using the yellow pages. When you were aware of a problem that you had and you were looking for options and consideration, you went to the yellow pages. Same rules apply. This is what I mean about principles of business. This buyer's journey has been around for hundreds of years, okay? And regardless of the methods that we use to search for things, the steps are the same. So the first part of considering which product you should think about going with is going to be comparisons. Guys, you know, that's the first thing people do. This versus that. Should I get this one? Should I get that one? Right? This is just a basic level. You start off with saying your options. You really want to see what options you have after you get your search, right? And these don't necessarily have to be in this order, but these are going to be the things that are going to come across your mind. You're going to start comparing things and checking out your options. Next, you're going to probably make a list of pros and cons, or maybe you'll Google pros and cons of going to Florida in December, right? So, you know, one of the pros might be cheaper costs. Maybe the cons might be maybe not as many people, or maybe the weather, maybe it's hurricane season, okay? But you're going to start comparing the pros and cons with the different brands that you, or the different options, I should say, that you have encountered with your search. Next, some people, they take in consideration the quality, okay? And one thing I want you to understand is quality never goes out of style, okay? I know everybody here is not all about selling a quality product. Maybe you're more about cost effective, okay? Maybe you're more about mass production. But what I want you to understand is quality never goes out of style or on sale. it costs what it costs. I was listening to a sermon, and the minister, he really brought it home because he said, quality costs what it costs. He stated that places like Rolls-Royce, they never go on sale. Why? Because of the quality work that are put into these cars. And if you cannot afford that price, you should not be at that dealership. Okay. The same thing goes for your products and services. If you know you're selling a high quality product, don't start to price jip yourself and cut your prices down because people don't see the quality of your work. It is simply a sign that you need to find a better target audience. This is why it's so important for you to understand who is the better fit for your business so that you don't have to slash prices just to get people to get your work. Okay. The next thing that people take into consideration is ratings. Okay. Hey, you might have a few options, and the next thing you know, you're looking at Amazon for the reviews, or you're just simply going to Google reviews for this particular product. Matter of fact, I was doing it the other day. Have you guys heard of that one product? It's as seen on TV product, the Arctic Cooler. It's like a portable air condition. So what I did was I knew the price range already, but I still wanted to see the reviews because since that product came out, there's been all type of variations of that same product. So I actually wanted to get the reviews on that product. The same thing goes for you. Ratings and reviews are very, very important. And it's also a great way to get your business out there. Okay. And we'll talk about more about that shortly here. Next, reputation. Okay. Sometimes, guys, listen, people will buy things just because of the reputation. This could be a particular brand. It don't necessarily have to be spoken word. It could just be a brand is known for high quality or longevity. Just like I did a training on German engineering and how to use their tactics for recruiting. One thing about the German workforce is they are worldwide known for quality goods. That's their reputation. Their reputation precedes them. Okay. You may not have even thought about ever going to Germany, but when someone says BMW or anything that is German made, people instantly think about quality. That is the power of reputation. Okay. What reputation does your business have? Now, after the person considers all of those things, you must ask yourself, can your marketplace find you? Maybe you have quality work. Maybe you have great cost items. Maybe you have great ratings. You have awesome testimonials from customers. But can your marketplace find you? That's online and offline. Okay. This is something that I see that is very, very important. It's actually sad because a lot of businesses, they have great product. Have you ever went to a business and you were so happy and you're like, why more people don't know about you? You know why, guys? Because they have not positioned themselves online to be found. Okay. And this is what we're going to be discussing at this point. Meet the prospects where they are. Make sure they can find you, whether it be through a webinar, because when they're in the consideration stage, they are really at that point where they want more information about the products. So they either want a webinar, okay, you can meet them at a case study, a FAQ sheet. This is something too that's very important. I've seen a decline in this, but a lot of websites does not have a FAQ page. And then I hear a lot of comments when I go through different seminars or do webinars. People are like, I'm so tired of people asking me the same questions over and over again. Well, guess what? That's a clue to tell you two things. Number one, what's most important to the customer. So that's marketing information. But number two, maybe you should put a frequently asked question page on your website so that you can direct them and say, hey, we have a list of our most frequently asked questions. Here's the link right here. That is something that will help the buyer in that consideration stage because you went out your way to answer some of the questions that they already had in their mind. You can do product white paper. This is simply just a report, almost like a case study. And here's that third-party review. See, we were just talking about reviews. Reviews are very, very important. And here's another thing about reviews. You should start growing your reviews even if you don't have that many sales. See, you can give away product or give it at a discount or barter just for reviews. Okay, and we're going to talk more about that. But I want you to understand that reviews is one of the most easiest ways to really set yourself apart from other people. You want to give them the FAQs, different case studies. At the consideration stage, this is the time for you to shine through with your expertise and educate the prospect. Now, the number one way to do this, as well as increase sales and influence and relationship with your clients or prospects, is to do it through automated emailing. Okay, and that is known as an autoresponder. See, when you understand the solution that you provide, the target market customer that it will be best for your products, you can set up a series of emails that you literally can have going out to the client. See, once they are aware that they have a problem, you can lead them to the information. You can either have them sign up so they can, you can invite them to the webinar, or you can simply just send them a link to go straight to your YouTube channel or your blog. This is a great way to let the guards down from people, because a lot of time people automatically think you're selling them something. But when they can go straight to an educational platform, like, wow, they really tried to help me. This is the state where people start to let their guard down, to know that you are truly there to help them out. Yes, you have something for sale. Of course, you're in business. That's no big secret, but you're not pressuring them. You want to help them. And then you also want to make sure that they are a good fit for your business. Because Lord knows you don't want a bunch of people that's buying things and before you know it, they're returning things. Then they're giving you bad ratings. A lot of times bad ratings are set by people that really wasn't a good fit for the product anyway. You know, you got some tire kickers and you got people that are always just looking for the cheapest bargain, you know, and then so when they don't get what they felt they should have got for what they paid for, or whatever the reason may be, they're just looking for a reason to write bad reviews. I see it all the time. Okay. So a great way to do this is to send your people, set up information and send interested prospects to that information, whether it be direct or you can do it through email programs. Thanks, guys. Stay tuned. Comment, like, and don't forget to share. Have a great day.